Hello, everybody, and welcome to Survivor with Jamie, Jack, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm itchy.
You know, every week I love her more and more because I am also compulsively itchy. And Zachary is the exact same way. We cannot make it through I'm itching right now, a single sitting without just like compulsively like twitching and itching. So I love her even more for that.
Did we all know that she was going to be the one that got stuck in the net?
Well, yeah. I would have been disappointed if it wasn't her.
I like Carson's like, I think everyone's just kind of turning with the net, Carolyn.
Well, he was trying not to puke. He was just like, you go, girl.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
I mean, like that. I mean,
he did have those vibes, those like, you know, I'm over this vibe.
He's spent the night puking, and then that's the challenge that he has to sit there and watch. And
oh my God.
Nope.
But Carolyn never disappoints. She's terrible in the chat.
Oh, yes. I have a question, and this is probably controversial, and this has absolutely no bearing on whatever, but he said that the peanut butter and jelly made him throw up, but don't they have alcohol at the merge feast? So I'm thinking maybe he imbibed and we didn't see it.
Yeah, maybe got a little...
Well, they said nothing, because they had, it was peanut butter chips and peanut butter and jelly, chips and iced tea. I don't think they had alcohol, did they?
Nobody else got sick. I mean...
Maybe he has a peanut allergy.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to drop a few Twitter references. Because Twitter's been a fire. But if you check out Twitter... If you check out Twitter this week, there was Zach from, was it 2 seasons ago? First Out Zach.
Yeah.
Awesome Zach. He
loved him. He's very funny. He was the best part of the Survivor Know-It-Alls live show. He really was. He was great.
I didn't realize he was there. I could have guessed he was going to be awesome because he's just so much fun. But he posted a conversation that he was having with Carson at some point recently, and he said that, oh my God, I thought that Carson had canceled on me, but really it was just foreshadowing. He's a strategic mastermind. And the message said, hey, I just threw up and I'm not feeling 100%. Don't want to potentially get you sick. I think it's heartburn, but I'm not sure. So maybe he has like really severe acid reflux and peanut butter.
Maybe. Also, honestly, the most logical explanation is they're on an island and there's viruses and he caught one.
Yeah.
Or he hasn't been eating. So when he's not a big guy. He's not a big guy.
True.
So you throw some peanut butter. How much peanut butter did he eat? How many sandwiches did he eat?
Like
how many chips?
Killer peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, this segues into remember when in San Juan del Sur when Wes had the tacos and then got really sick.
Well, that makes sense. But then you have, it could have been the chips.
Yeah.
When you're not used to salty, greasy stuff, and all of a sudden you're eating chips, it's like, I mean,
we actually got about
food might not have washed their hands.
We got about 4 minutes into this show, which actually I was going to open with this, but I feel like we need to take a moment and honor the great Keith Nall, who passed away yesterday.
I can't believe that.
I dropped the kids off today at school and camp, was at the traffic light leaving camp for Zachary, was like, let me check Twitter. The light had just turned red, so I had to go through the full cycle. And so I was like, let me check Twitter, saw the post about it and was like, oh my God, what? And then, obviously then kept scrolling and very upset he passed away from cancer. He was diagnosed in January. It was quick.
Of this year?
Of this year. They said he was diagnosed in January. It ravaged him. This is what his son and his brother said, and he went very quickly. Died at home, which, I guess if you're going to die, at home is the way to go.
Yeah.
But I was very upset. Like I was shocked. I was so sad. So
one of the
rest
most
in
popular
power.
players, never
Yeah.
to win it, number one, but one of the most popular players of all time.
Yeah, remember that time that he was like, Survivor ain't fun. Going on a cruise is fun.
Just fun.
Stick to the plan. Stick
All
to
I
the
gotta
plan.
say is stick to the plan.
I will say
And the tuk-tuk. I will never forget
Yeah.
the joy that man had driving a tuk-tuk.
brought so many
Wanting his Cambodian driver's license.
amazing Keith memes have come back out of, storage, and we've got we've got him spitting, teach me how to spit like a man.
Yes, I went through a lot of them when I got home because I was like, oh my God. And then
I think the reason he never won it because he was such a good guy and he was a good player.
He was likable.
And
not the best strategic player, but was a solid dude.
But he was solid in the challenges, and he was so likable that's why people got rid of him. There's no way you'd want to go into the finals with Keith. There's no way.
Yes, I had totally forgotten the clip that he gave about how he was really good at balls, meaning I'm good at challenges with balls. I laughed. I rewatched that clip today and I had forgotten about it. Amazing. I laughed so hard. I'll send it to you guys when we're done, but it was so, it's just, again, like so funny. It was like, I'm really good at balls.
Yeah, I think I saw your tweet first and it was like bang, 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 bang. Right after I said, oh no.
I was so upset. Only 62.
Yeah, I mean, it was bad enough, but like you said, bad enough he died. Bad enough he died from cancer, but I go 62. God.
Yeah. So our
sad.
hearts go out to Wes, Big D, the rest of his family. Thoughts and good vibes and all that to you guys. Fantastic human being. Remember, was it Reed? The part of the couple that was like the Broadway couple in San Juan del Sur, the blonde one. Remember there was that gay couple and the blonde one. He tweeted a wonderful tribute to him as well, like two people that couldn't have been more different. Really taught each other a lot, and that's the beauty of Survivor. So, I thought just, kind of reminded me like why we all love this game so much beyond the gameplay and, the stupid rules and all that stuff. Like it is still at heart. It's about a group of people who are completely different from each other coming together and what they can teach each other. So
when Survivor allows it.
When Survivor allows it, right?
When it's allowed.
So rest in peace, Keith. Rest in power. Okay, let's talk about this week's episode. Don't get cocky, kid.
Did you see I am officially posting a petition on Twitter to rename this episode Butt Stuff?
Butt Stuff? I didn't see that. I haven't been on Twitter, so
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed I get enough signatures.
Twitter broke my heart this morning, so I'm kind of afraid to go back in it tonight.
Fair.
Oh my God. Really, really. It was a fun episode. I will say that the ending of it, they did do a good job of leading us to believe that, it was going to be Brandon by majority vote. Like, I thought it was so weird that they kept being like, well, I'll just play my idol for Franny. And I'm like, okay, well, if everybody knows he's going to play it for Franny, then they're not going to vote for Franny. And why is he doing that? And when he did it, I was just like, this feels like a waste of an idol, like a showmanship thing. But, it wasn't as satisfying as Wentworth Does Not Count because she played it on herself and nobody knew that she was going to do that. But It was still pretty good.
Yeah,
every Franny vote that came out, I was just like, oh my God.
They need to tell Matt that he needs to show some more like excitement that his
oh my God.
is still in the game because you can't tell that he's in love with her. You just can't tell.
Yeah, you just can't.
Look, if I'm playing the game, Franny's going to have to be my next target because he's a likable guy. He's a smart guy. If she goes to the finals, he could probably sway the jury his way.
So everybody liked him. Yeah.
Yeah,
totally
everyone
agree.
liked it. In fact, the only reason they said they voted him out, they had to break him up.
Yeah.
Because it was so obvious they were together. And again, if you see him just like beaming, I mean, she walked by and he's like,
Yes.
yeah.
Basically.
I mean, he is so in love. I mean, he's killing her game. He's killing her game.
Well, to be fair, she's killing her own game because she is squeeing right back at him, like, so,
I know.
like, all
and then she
smile, you know, like the whole smile.
And then she was crying like he was going off to war. I'm like, okay, he's just on the same island as you.
You're all going to be there within the next 2 weeks.
Yes, exactly. It's not. He's not going to Mars on a mission that you were next to him for 4 years.
He's not even going to war. Literally,
No.
You're the one that's going back to fight, and he's the one that's going back to drink and shower and sleep.
I couldn't take care of him.
You literally could have saved him from war by stepping off a balance beam. This is not life or death.
Yes, after we finished recording last week, I actually did go on Twitter and did not realize just how many people had that same opinion as was it Chris last week? Mike, I'm so sorry, I'm blanking now. Where it was just like I think it was accidentally slip. Okay, accidentally slip, and nobody will be none the wiser. And then you keep your ally.
Yeah, it was a bad mistake on her part.
Yes, but as somebody else said, and I don't know if it was Steven Fishback or I read it somewhere or something. I'm very sorry. Everything always blends together nowadays for me. But somebody also was like, or maybe it was just Twitter. Somebody like, I don't think you understand the level of like competitiveness when you're actually in the moment performing, that you're not always stopping to think about that, which then made me appreciate the players that actually do have the capacity to stop and think about things like that while that adrenaline is going. I
was going to say that makes a bet. If you can do that, that makes you a much better player.
Yeah,
I get that you want. Okay, I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. You already won. I mean, who's her? She has no alliance, does she? Yeah. On her side, so it made perfect sense.
I guess she has Danny now and Heidi.
Well, I think Danny was just. It was just he wanted to keep Franny to get rid of Brandon.
Yeah. Okay, and can we talk about that too? Because this is the same two guys that were like practically making out with each other at the Carolyn luncheon. When did they fall apart?
Wait, hold on. Let me mute Zach. Yeah, Jack. Go ahead. Say that again.
Okay, so Brandon and Danny were like with Carolyn in that whole lunch situation.
Yes.
And they were just like in love with each other, but now suddenly Danny's gunning for Brandon, and it's
that was weird to me too. I don't know.
I am really frustrated that we didn't get any sort of editing that allowed us to see like anything that made us believe that it was heading in that direction. It was weird. It felt disjointed.
It did, which is why it was such a big shock. It didn't have the cool shock. Like I said, it didn't have the cool shock of the Wentworth thing in Second Chances. But, it did have that shock because there was nothing that ever led me to believe that he would have to play the idol for Franny. Like, either. Like, there was a whole lot of, you're right, it was a little bit disjointed.
Yeah, because we missed out on why suddenly are these two guys that were so excited to work together, like going after each other. When did Danny and Franny become close enough of an alliance that he's willing to play his idol for her?
Yeah.
And also we have this idea where like Heidi seems like she's a lot closer to certain players than we really knew, just because we haven't had a lot from that side of the storytelling yet. So.
You think Danny was just trying to get rid of a physical threat?
Yeah,
I mean, so yes, I think they let us believe that that Heidi was trying to get rid of a physical threat because she's the one. And this was actually kind of like tonight's episode seemed like it was the rise of the Heidi story arc,
right? Yep.
Where I think now Heidi is so big and large, and she doesn't seem to be in trouble, that we're going to start to see a lot more of her, which makes me excited. Because I really like her. I met her in person and have a selfie with her. That does not cloud my judgment whatsoever. I
I think that's a conflict of interest. I think.
It may be. Same as Jam Jam.
Maybe.
Do you have a video of Jam Jam telling my children to brush their
True.
teeth? But it was interesting. Like, we saw a lot more Heidi. I think this is the start of her. But there was nothing, you're right, there was nothing that led us to believe that there would be a rift between Danny and Brandon, which makes that whole scene kind of seem pointless in a way.
Well, did he want to break up? Because remember they were 4 strong, right?
But it wasn't him. It was Heidi that was
Yep.
leading the vote. She was
I know,
we
but-
need to get rid of Ratu, so then it's 3-3-3. And she fell on Danny and on Brandon, and all of a sudden Danny was like, "Yes, I'm gonna play my idol for what's
hasn't Danny been working with Heidi?
Yeah, they've been
Okay.
working together,
Yes.
but
Okay.
we had that whole scene where Carolyn was the odd man out with no tattoos between Danny and Brandon.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting that, we had that whole big buildup, and in the end of the day, it wasn't even Carolyn that took out Brandon and broke up that alliance. It was Heidi.
Danny's kind of crafty. Maybe
Little
that
bit.
was his.
And
Maybe that was his. Yeah, very gassy.
And yes, please. Oh my God, I cannot wait to talk about the fart, because I was like, this is maybe my favorite Survivor moment of all time.
Maybe Danny. Well, I was going to say maybe Danny was just trying to get Brandon on his side.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole idea is, you're trying to get people to believe, oh yeah, I'm with you, and
yeah. So here's my my editing theory on this is that there probably was no serious bromance happening between Danny and Brandon at that lunch. It was Danny putting on an act, Brandon put on an act, whatever.
You thought they were just big spendering each other.
Yes.
The big spender.
But then
each other,
maybe we got that bit of that story because looking at next week's episode, it seems like Carolyn and Danny are going to be kind of butting heads. So maybe that set up the movement to Carolyn and Danny being at odds. So that's my theory.
All right. I can look at that.
Yeah, I can too. Okay, let's oh my God, I just almost X'd us out trying to get to my outline. Okay. Let's talk about Jam Jam. Because this starts with Jam Jam. Heidi is this really was the start of the Heidi revolution, this episode. We have, Heidi explained to Jam Jam why she stole Lauren's vote for him. There was a lot of Jam Jam and what Jam Jam has to say. So Jay still is of the opinion that Jam Jam is either your lovable loser or just gonna get voted out any day. What do you guys think?
I think Jam Jam might be a snake in the game.
Oh, explain.
It worked out in the favor of the Heidi's plan this time around, but one, we look at it and go, okay, it's not exactly great game, right? But when he's talking to somebody, when he's talking to Brandon, and Brandon's like, "You're safe, it's not you." The way that he talks to people, where he's like, "Are you sure it's not me? Because you have to do better than that for me to believe you." The things that he says and is able to kind of get away with tells me that there is more of a dynamic to him than we see, because we're not at camp with him, because not everybody can talk like that and get away with that in a social game. Two, it has constantly come back to Jam Jam teetering on which move am I going to make? I'm kind of the swing vote here. Maybe I'm going to go tell these people what these people say. And that is a constant thing we're getting in his story. So I think he's either he is, or they're trying to archetype him into the snake role, because he whiffles and waffles a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you saw Danny's reaction when Carson told him that Jam Jam knew he had an idol. He's like, "Oh, not him! No!"
It's all over. It's all
over.
I'm going home.
And he goes, well, no, let me talk to Carson goes, let me talk to Jam Jam because they got the what is it, Nerd Alliance or the Geek Alliance, whatever their alliance is.
Well, now they're the Three Musketeers or something like that,
Three
right?
Musketeers. Are they really? Okay.
There was a next week on Survivor. I'm completely blanking, but let's just call them Three Musketeers. You're talking Carson, Carolyn, and
Stooges.
Yum.
They're the Three Stooges.
Three
Three
Stooges.
Stooges, that's what it is.
Actually, that's kind of perfect. The Three Stooges. This is perfect. No notes. Okay.
It tracks.
But maybe he is. But he voted for Franny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that he was a part of it. I think it was the only people a part of the Franny vote. I'm sorry, the Brandon vote. It was only Danny, Franny, and Heidi.
Yeah. So
because Brandon was smart. I'm not Brandon. Danny was smart. He said because that's why he was so upset with Carson. Keep it tight. We don't need a clean sweep. If I'm going to play they're all voting for Franny. I'll play the idol.
Yeah.
He only needs one vote.
Right.
Why open it up to 7 or 8 people?
No,
That's how you get blindsided.
Well, I guess yes, that's how you get blindsided. That was very smart. I mean, you open it up to that many people if you trust them, so you don't have to waste your idol on somebody else. But yeah, like if clearly, and now that kind of neuters Franny's game, but also gives Danny some stock. So do you think that Heidi and Franny and whoever else will eventually turn on Danny now?
I think that they're going to
playing an idol for somebody else is hit or miss.
Right.
We've seen people play idols for other people and then it does not work out for them, but we've also seen people like Jeremy Collins played an idol for Fishback and he ended up winning that season. So like it could go either way.
I do think that there's a really, really high probability of Heidi and a few others putting their targets on Danny. I don't know about Franny doing it though. From what we've seen of her, just her personality and her like mantra, I don't think that she would be able to turn around and put his name down when he just saved her. Like he didn't even like play the idol for her needlessly. He saved her game. And right. I can't see her being okay with turning around and put his name down unless it's like final 4 and she's got to knock him out.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a point of the game where it's all meant. It's everyone for themselves.
I have a sneaking suspicion that she will put her foot down or at the very least really have a problem.
Well, at this point, but Danny has a pretty good resume so far.
Yes.
He has the. I mean, he made the fake idol that Matt was carrying around for the longest time. He made a big move tonight, getting Brandon out. I mean, that was all him.
Yeah, but there's 9 left, so that means
no, I know, but
a huge target.
That does make almost too soon because it's putting a target.
Exactly, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Like, was Franny worth it for Brandon when Brandon was willing to maybe fake work with you?
Yeah.
It's tough to say. I just gonna because this was like a really interesting thought that I heard earlier. I am not crediting myself with this at all. This is actually George from Australia was on his final interview. He was with Rob Has a Podcast this afternoon. And he brought up something with the American players, especially in the new era, that he thinks really defines some of the problematic things that happen with the storytelling and the way the game goes, is that we have people, we used to have people that were playing to win, and now our cast is always playing to not lose. Yes. And so there's very few people that can think of a dynamic plan and have the guts and the follow through to push it because they're all so afraid to step out of line or to make a target on themselves. And so we are not getting that like Sandra, she jokingly, the thing with her, she's like anybody's name but mine.
Yeah.
Right. But
I don't think that's a joke. I think that's literally the strategy of Survivor.
But she would still be like, she'd still be willing to make whatever move she needed to move to keep her name from being on there. But she wasn't playing to not lose. She was playing to win.
Yeah, she didn't mind upsetting anybody as long as she didn't go home.
Exactly.
Whereas now, like you're saying, now people are terrified. Okay, because it was even said today. Someone said it. If I make this move, if it's going to anger, I can't remember who said it, but someone said it.
Which is wild because you're playing a game in which your moves should piss people off and you should still win. Because
you think it's because, like, look at the last few winners. It seems like it's been a bitter jury. The bitter juries seem to be happening more and more often. That you're like going,
I don't know if it's a bitter jury or just the big threats get taken out by the end.
Because this goes back
left with, like, who do we think is most deserving that we have,
This goes back into George's theory where he says the people that have been winning this game are the people that aren't doing anything because they're afraid to lose, but they end up winning.
Fair enough.
And he said, if there is something that's happening on the island or in the game that is interesting, that has any consequence to the game, they're gonna show it because it is about entertainment. It's about telling a story. They have a product and they're selling it. And if they are not showing you, it's because there was nothing to show. So these winners that we've had, even Gabler to a sense, but like Erica, Gabler, I wouldn't say so much with Marianne because I think she did make good moves at the right time. But he said, you just sit back, you don't become a target, you make one move towards the end, and you've won the game. And that doesn't make for very interesting tribal councils throughout the game.
Yeah. So. And I guess, I know that this is a TV show that we really want to see big moves and exciting, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, if $1 million is on the line for you, you're going to play whatever way gets you that $1 million. It doesn't matter. Like, you don't care if you're a TV personality. No. You want that cash.
Do you think another problem is all the idols? Because, okay, I'm playing this great game. I'm playing to win. Oh, wait, I don't know who has an idol. There's 17 idols in the game. I don't know. I don't have one. So it's like.
I like
board games. Makes it more dangerous.
I like board games, so I'm okay with Survivor having 1, 2, 3 idols out there. But the level of, now with all the different twists and turns and rules behind the advantages, that is a point where I'm like, okay, like
it's
kind of going to be a hindrance.
And that's why people might be playing not to lose because.
You let the other. I mean, it's a natural evolution of smart playing. Is let the big people burn out, let them flame out, and then come in at the end. It's what I would do.
Yeah,
I would do it.
As far as like the ultimate goal, which is to win this game and make the money, if that's your best way through because you're not like a competition beast or whatever, and luck isn't just going to keep falling on you every turn, you got to hold back. You have to know when to like not even be there, like an invisible player.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. They're just doing what faculty they have to win this game. And I can't blame them, not the players, because they're just doing their thing. But the setup of the game, I think, again, we've talked about this. I think there's multiple institutions that are involved that create some of the dynamics we don't love in the new era. But I really did love the idea of the who's playing to win thing and who's playing to not lose, because it made me refocus my energy this week and started really paying attention. And so Heidi, like, it's just little moves that she made, but I am so much more impressed with Heidi than I thought last week I would be, because she's not playing to, she was maybe not the greatest thing in the world, but she tried to buy agency with Jam Jam by giving up the information that Danny had. It wasn't the smartest move for her, but she was like, what do I have that I can use to get power over this guy? And hey, she's pushing the game forward.
But like you guys said earlier, is Jam Jam smarter, a better player than we're made to believe?
Right.
I think he is. And I think that we saw that with the Josh on the beach scenes where he was like, very obvious, like, and Carolyn too, where Carolyn comes back and she's just like, I'm gonna blow up your game now because these people blew up your game for you. And then we had Jam Jam being like, aren't those just the bees from Tree Mail? Like, I feel like we saw
so good.
Like somebody that's playing under the radar would be like, okay, cool, and like not say anything, and then just do their thing at the end of it.
Then you would just go to Carolyn, going, okay, he's got a fake idol.
Yes, so I do think
we don't have to worry about him. I'll be honest, I wouldn't have blown up his game. I would have said, that's good. You have an idol. That's good. Okay, I wouldn't have called him out.
But like people like Jam, people like Carolyn, people like Sandra are people that are gonna, say what they're thinking. And I enjoy that kind of player.
Oh, it's good television.
It's great television. It's obviously worked for Sandra twice.
Yes. and that's another thing he said about great players too, is this ability to, sometimes you have to hold your cards close. You can't let them see everything. You don't want them in on every angle, of course. But there's so many unnecessary lies that happen in the game that just muddies it up. It doesn't make for smart playing. Like, you can tell somebody,
like Josh. Josh had a lot of unnecessary
Josh is the perfect example. There's multiple times Josh could have said, "Yeah, I think that I'm going to put your name down." It wasn't going to hurt him to say that because he had the numbers on his side. And now he's being honest and straightforward. So moving forward with this game, anybody that witnessed that moment, that says a lot more about someone's honesty. If anything, it means that the one time you do need to lie, they're going to listen to it.
Yeah. Concur.
I honestly, like, tonight, my Jam, Carolyn go into the final 3. I feel so great about this because we saw so much of them and we didn't need to, because at the end of the day, their stories weren't important to these storylines.
Well, Carolyn, they can't. I don't think anyone. We've said this every week. I don't think anyone considers her a threat.
Like, I know, when she was jumping up, wild because we're seeing how much of a threat
she laid in the Colleen net for 20 minutes.
Go ahead, Jack. Sorry.
She is of no threat to me.
But when she got up and said, "I'm itchy," the looks were like, I can't be on this island with her much longer.
Like, you can be itchy and be a good player. The end.
Yeah, but that's just the way she was doing it. She goes, "Well, I'm itchy."
I know. I love her so much. I love it so much. Yes. It was funny because Jack, last week you when we have the next week on, you were like, "Oh, that's the challenge that Noelle got stuck in," and Zach wasn't around when you said that, right? Because he was at your house. Yeah. And this week when they showed the challenge, he was like, "Oh, this is the challenge where the girl got her leg stuck in."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my God, great memory!" Especially like because we watched that like in a bar.
I'd say this every week. I'd be freaking out. I could not handle being stuck in there.
Yeah.
Cut me out!
Yes, it's like everyone's worst nightmare come to life, except if you're Danny and Lauren, who apparently are very great at going through nets.
Yeah.
Am I just a bad person? Am I the only person that, like, when the cameras were like panning away from that part of the challenge and Carson is like laying there in the mud, puking in his net, like, and they're all like, "We'll help you out." I lost it. I laughed so uncontrollably. I'm like,
I thought you were like, "I lost it. I was so sad for him."
No, not at all. It was like, oh my God, you couldn't have tell me that you're watching ridiculous television and taking it far too seriously.
He actually made pretty good progress because
he did better than Carolyn.
I hope that the cold bud felt very good for him.
I was like, oh my God.
At least they helped him out. For him that he didn't get to go to. I feel like he would have been a contender on that, like that stand on the pegs. I feel like he would have done killer at that. But
yeah,
you got to get through the first.
I think the lighter you are, the easier not easier, but I think because the weight factor.
Yeah, looking at Kane and Brandon, I'm like, there's no way they're down. They're done. There's no way.
Yeah. Kane did pretty, and we saw a lot of Kane today.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Kane.
He had a cool hairdo. Everybody complimented it. Like, he's getting cooler.
He ignored someone. Who's it? Jamie he ignored when they all give him high fives, and he just kind of sat down. And she's like,
You know, honestly,
And then she
It's a
patted
lot
him on
of
the back.
drops too, because Jam
There-
Jam got left hanging when Danny like walked off there and he like ran over to Danny to high five him, and Danny's like swoop away, left him hanging.
there were only 2 people this week that I would have been disappointed if we didn't see them get stuck in the net. Carolyn was one of them, and Jamie was the other one. I was like, if Jamie is stuck in the net, I'm gonna be okay with it because I could see
Oh
that
my
happening.
I'm worried about Carolyn. If so she has to do fire, that maybe she catches herself on fire. I mean, they better have a fire.
No.
She's
She'll
terrible.
just
She's
scream the whole
terrible. She's terrible at these things.
She's just gonna scream the entire time. Listen, here's another great like thing I wanted to throw in there with Carolyn and Twitter. Okay, if you don't follow Carolyn on TikTok or Twitter, you're wasting your life away. You need
Oh my
to.
God, I don't do TikTok. I should do TikTok.
Okay.
I just don't know how to.
This
Um,
week
it's not
it
that hard.
transferred.
Yeah,
from
everybody says
TikTok.
that, but it feels difficult to me.
It transferred from TikTok into Twitter. Okay,
I
so
saw her answering the questions, like the top most Google search things of her, in which Russell Hansel people tried to pick a fight with her, and she was just like, "Go F yourself, dude."
And she responded with the first response was,
Hold on, I want to hear what Jack has to say.
No, I saw. I said, "Oh wait, she's fighting with Russell Hands." Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jamie, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, her first response was, "I liked your nephew, but your nephew's a better player."
I like your nephew better. I saw that.
He had a better temperament.
And then he was hashtag triggered.
And so then he said some more mean things that I won't repeat. And then she responded with a picture of both his torch getting snuffed out in US and in Australia. It's like double snuff. It was great. It was beautiful. She's the best.
That's a guy that just doesn't learn.
He just does it because he gets clickbait. That's it.
Yeah,
he needs attention.
Yep.
He needs attention.
That's exactly it. If it's not about him, he'll worm his way in.
But like, kudos to her, because especially with that video, some of the things that like the top 10 search terms about her are truly offensive and horrific.
Yes.
And like, good for her for breaking it down to be like, why do we need to diagnose if I'm neuroatypical or not? Like,
like why
not that it's any of your business, but like, I have ADHD. Like, why are you Googling if I'm on drugs? I've been sober since 2009. Like, it's like, kudos to her for actually sitting there and breaking it down. And I hope that she puts people to shame. The internet never learns, but like, I hope that she does, because
no, I don't think it's the people that put that stuff on there, they don't care.
I know. But like, just the first is like, what is wrong with Carolyn from Survivor? And she was like, nothing. Nothing is wrong with me. I am fine.
This is just me. She's also
Is Carolyn on drugs? No. Is Carolyn? No. Does Carolyn have autism? Does Carolyn have this? Does Carolyn? It's just like, holy shit! Like, sorry, holy moly, guys! Like, we really do like Google some pretty terrible things about our fellow human beings. Like, be kind.
Well, you gotta kill time during the day. So it's like,
I don't know. I feel like
how many things do we?
Unfortunately, it's only getting worse with social media, because if you're in the public eye,
yeah,
that's like
I agree.
That's gonna be a big part of the psych evaluation at this point. You know what I mean? Like, how will this person be? How is this person's like mental faculties? Are they going to be able to handle the triggers and the trauma that exists coming out of the limelight, and what it happens in social media? And
well, again, from the when Richard Hatch won, what was it? MySpace, if anything.
Not even that.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I don't even know if in 2000. I don't even know if MySpace was a thing.
Yeah, it wasn't even.
I can't remember.
So
I don't know.
The more these, I mean, I think the only thing is for the people nowadays is Survivor isn't getting 30 million people an episode watching it.
That's true.
I mean, it's only getting 4 or 5 million, maybe 6 million people watching it. Still, it's a lot of people, but it's not the top show.
Yeah.
of the
Not
week
the
where
phenomenon anymore.
where 30,000 people are 30 million people are watching it. So it's more people, putting the things on Twitter. And I think you just have to have a tough skin if you go on these shows, and not everybody has one. I mean, it's tough. I mean, we joke around and make fun of people on the show. It's just it's just like.
But I feel like we've gotten a lot better. Like we're not Corinne level of making fun of people.
No. Corinne is mean.
Yeah.
Like we're not mean for being mean. Like
her and Eliza was on The Amazing Race, two of the poorest sports I've ever seen in my life.
They're I like Eliza, but like that was a terrible show.
I mean, it
was a terrible show.
I think she fed off Corinne, but I
agree. I feel like Corinne is just I mean, come for me, Corinne, whatever. But like, I feel like Corinne is a negative.
She might.
And something, that's fine. I look like Eliza, so look at my face and then come for me like you're coming for your friend.
Yeah, because that was because once in a while, what I always like about Amazing Race is when people leave. Okay, I lost, and they're graceful as going out, but some people are like, it was not great. They had to be the worst since I started watching.
Yeah, it was not great.
That says something because, like, Amazing Race, there's always one team every season that includes somebody who cannot stop whining and complaining about everything.
Yes.
They didn't whine and complain. They were just very not great when they lost. Like it was.
They were just not great.
Well, they were bad before that.
Yeah, but even then, you could be like, okay, they were performing for TV, but like when they lost, it was another level.
You even had the poor girl that was she was Miss Teen America. She was going for Miss Teen America from South Carolina, I think, like that.
Oh,
yes. And they asked her the question, and she said it was like it just was a mess. And you're just like, okay, she's young, and some of the people on the Amazing Race were making fun of her because they recognized her. Oh, she's going to be easy to beat because she's stupid and all this different stuff. And it really
that was the girl from yes. Okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. And turned out she was pretty good on the show. I mean, it just, you're in front of all these people and you're trying to answer a question and you blow it. And suddenly you're, social
that's
media,
not a mark of your overall intelligence in life.
No.
Or ability to quickly propel down the side of a building, memorizing clues.
But I always laugh. I said, the people you're making fun of are going to watch this show,
right?
You're good. I mean,
remember my moment here was Adam Klein listened to our preview show. What was it, Millennial Gen X? He listened to the preview show and he messaged us with. About something that we said on the show. And that was the point where it was like, oh, we are like 1/1000th of a show that has listeners that like Rob has a podcast or even the Tribe had at the time. And like somebody that is a player listened to our preview show and messaged us about something we said making fun of him. And it wasn't even like we were trying to be mean. We were just having a good time. But that was actually one of the defining moments for me personally. I was like, oh my God, these are real people that may hear this one day. And that could be, I mean, that would never be me, but like that could be, me like listening to some of these things. Because people have said really mean things about me before in the past, especially like with the J and Jack stuff. So I was like, oh, shoot, I need to like obviously keep in mind that when you put something out there that's making fun of somebody, like that's kind of negative energy.
I think I can pretty much back anything I said negative. I'm pretty good with it.
There's a lot from the Tribe that I don't remember saying, and I'm pretty sure that I would be horrified if a lot of the
Debbie stuff. If Debbie was listening and hurts, I'd be hey, look, I'm just joking with you. I mean, I'm just having.
I feel like Debbie would understand. Debbie feels like the kind of person that like
there's just certain, and then there's people that had who's that guy that quit twice, and I wasn't nice about him. I could care less if he said anything. I was like, you were on the show twice and quit twice.
I feel bad that his fiance died because he got hit by a train, but like,
and he was a good guy.
His fiance was a good dude. Yes. Caleb was great.
Yes.
I frequently was like, Caleb, my God, do you take a
You
lot
can-
of Xanax or something to deal
You,
with
you,
this?
you can do a lot better.
Okay. All right. Let's take a quick break if anybody has anything else about this particular episode, and then we will get into the tally the votes. We good? Anybody else have anything? Okay, cool. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. All right, we are back.
I did have something I thought was funny. I did
okay,
say
go
something.
ahead.
I did say something once. I think it was on the Lost podcast, and Jay had said something, and it was about Harry and the Hendersons. I said, "Worst movie ever."
Oh no!
And the granddaughter listened to our show, whose dad had wrote and produced whatever it was.
Oh, I think I know this story.
And I went, okay, let me tell you why I said that. I go, because when Jay was like 1, we had Thanksgiving over at my mother-in-law's house. Everyone fell asleep watching Harry and the Hendersons, except me. I was the only one. I watched the whole movie, so I said, "Well, this must be the worst movie ever." So every time I heard Harry and the Hendersons, I go, "Worst movie ever." So once I explained it to her, she goes, "Okay, thank you," because she goes, "You were always my favorite until then."
So, I loved the nonstop jokes about the underwater hatch, but once you said
Harry and the Hendersons sucked, I was like, "Oh no! This is the story." Oh my god!
Hey, remember that time you guys realized that you were doing a panel and Patrick Laberto was sitting there?
Yeah, and I go, Little House on the Prairie. Wait, and I think Jag was on at the time, and Cindy and I watched Jag, and Cindy was like in the back going,
Yes.
but then he left. I said, "Oh, he must have been in the wrong." I said in the air, he must have been. He goes, "No. I had to go for something anyway."
Yeah, good times. Okay,
yes.
Let's do the tally the votes. We don't have any feedback, so I checked it.
It's like
I checked
the third week in a
know.
row.
I know, it's crazy. We used to get feedback all the time. Okay, so the good news for all of us is we all had Brandon making the merge. Yes. So that means
I couldn't remember who I had going home.
Jamie has 6.5. Jack has 4. I have 5 because of that. As far as going home, none of us had Brandon. I had Lauren. Oh, so close. If not for me.
I had Danny.
You had Danny.
Good choice,
Jamie had Jamie. So this is the point of the show where I promised your grandson Zachary that I would, in fact, let everybody know that his prediction for next week is Danny.
That's a good choice.
He was like, since I chose Brandon last time, and I was like, last time meaning like 3 weeks ago, but go on. Since I chose Brandon last time, this time
I'm choosing a month ago.
I was a month ago. This time I choose Danny. So Zachary would like everyone to know that his pick for next week is Danny.
Okay, that's a good choice.
You're right.
I'll go first. I'm going with Kane. I think Kane is starting to outlive his usefulness.
Kane is a pain. Let's see. That's a good pick.
Thank you. I thought about this for all of 20 seconds, so I appreciate that.
Maybe you should start doing that more often.
Maybe I should.
I would pick Danny, but I think Danny's going to find the idol.
I know, that's where I'm kind of teetering.
I don't think Danny's going to find the idol, but I do think that Franny and Heidi will protect him.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
I'm gonna go with Lauren.
Okay, that's a good choice though.
Because she won immunity this week.
She did, and Danny was gunning for her, even though they're supposedly best friends now. I feel like she does still have that extra vote.
Again, I think
you don't think Heidi will save her. You think Heidi is tighter with Danny than Lauren?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I think with Lauren, I think Danny is playing everybody
except Heidi. I do think he's loyal to Heidi.
I think he's loyal to Heidi, but I think like with the being nice to people and
Yes.
It's all an act.
It's all an act. Yeah.
He'll fart on him, but
Yeah.
Oh my God! That
made me root for him so much more.
Yes, the fact that they kept the fart in, I was like, I am all in, Danny. Let's go.
He goes, Jeff, What?
I know, it was amazing. As a mom of 2 boys who frequently are like, "Mom," and then they stick their butt up in my face and they're like, "Pfft." I'm like, okay.
And it was such a superb moment in this household because my husband is watching, this, and he's like, I don't know about Danny. He's like, there's just something about him. I don't
He's
like
from
get
Long
him,
Island
or
or
I
whatever.
don't really like him. I can't root for him. And like literally he finishes that sentence and then it's, "Hey Jeff." And then he farts and immediately he's like, "Never mind, I take it back. I want him to win the game."
Anyone that can
Danny
fart
for the
in
win.
public like that, in front of all millions of people.
It's like, he's like, "That's my dream. That's the only reason why I want to get on Survivor is to do that."
Because Carolyn's like going, I haven't even farted like that in public yet.
I know, Carol's like, all right, challenge accepted. Let's go, dude. Who's got some cheese in the next reward challenge?
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's funny because Jay wasn't super paying attention, and he was sitting on the couch like on his laptop, and the fart happened. And he just looked up. He was like, "Did that dude just fart?" And I was like, "He sure did."
Was he trying to get Lauren to laugh?
I don't know.
Break her concentration?
That's a pretty good I would have laughed and died. I would have laughed and I would have fallen off.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like...
Who doesn't laugh at a good fart?
Who doesn't laugh? I mean, in the appropriate setting. In the appropriate setting.
No, I'm pretty good about any time.
It's a great icebreaker. I'll tell you what, you know who your people are if that happens and they walk away, they're not your people.
There you go. Okay,
All
Jamie,
right,
who do you think is going home?
You know what? I'm going with Danny. I'm going to say Danny. I'm going to do it.
All right, we got Danny, Lauren, and Kane. There we go.
Probably one of those are going home, unless there's a blind side that we don't know about.
That's
Which
very
is
true.
a possibility.
None of us predicted Brandon last week.
Because Carson's not even showing up. He doesn't even get a mention.
No, I think Carson is in a great spot. I do.
Yes.
I think he is one of those people reserved for everybody's like final 5 or 6 radar. And
Yeah.
he'll have to do some work. So
I
think
was slightly concerned for him tonight when I saw the title of tonight's episode. I was like, oh, is this bad for Carson? But
nope.
No,
Yeah.
he's busy just puking in the woods. Everyone else is playing the game. He's literally trying to survive.
Is he all right? Nobody
Is
went
he
over
all
that. Are you all right? Carolyn eventually went over to him, but
yeah, because she's the mom and she went and checked on him. And I loved the fact that she wasn't like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll partner with Carson. She's all like, I'll carry him on my back if I have to. You're so great. That's awesome.
I know, that was wonderful.
yeah, but if I'm Carson, I'm like, is there anybody else? Because you suck at challenges.
See, and this is where, this would have been so great if she would have been like, I really overthrew how bad I was because I wanted the heat to come off of you being too sick to play. Like, I really wasn't stuck. I just knew you weren't going to be able to get through it.
Do you think she's blowing the challenges on purpose?
No,
I think some people are just spastic like that. I would do the same thing, not on purpose.
Like, she's athletic. But
yes, she looks
coordinated at all.
No, is she tall? Maybe.
Like give her a chance. Like give her like a jumping jacks challenge. I'm sure she would do fine.
She's got abs. I mean,
okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
She paid the rope would all be on. I'm stuck.
I am imagining the jumping jacks via Carolyn and.
Oh, jumping jacks. Okay.
There would be.
I was thinking jump rope.
Oh, jump rope too. But I love her, and I would love to.
It would probably look exactly the same, to be fair.
Exactly. I love her, and I would love to see her win immunity. And the day that she does, I don't know. I'm going to do a shot on air. I'm going to be very excited. Okay. Yeah. All right. So on that note, everybody, fun episode, very random outcome.
Did I share a fart?
I heard it.
Oh, I didn't fart. I swear to God, I would admit to it. I've admitted to it before.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
I heard it.
Oh,
it was
like a little whistle one.
It was the universe. It was the universe giving us some sound effects because I don't have a soundboard. There we go.
Okay, all right.
All right, everyone. Thank you for playing. Thanks for listening. Thank you to the patrons. If you'd like to become a patron, you go to patreon.com/JayandJack. Thank you to the patrons that contribute to a certain level, and that'd be Eckhart Rigner, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. We appreciate it. Yeah, if you have any feedback, SurvivorJJC@gmail.com. We would love some feedback. Give us some feedback. Overwhelm us next week, people.
You get a drawing from Matt. If there's a
Matt's busy doing another podcast at the moment.
I know. You get a drawing from me.
Jack just he does doodle while he's podcasting.
Yes, I do.
Yes,
I'm a doodler.
But on
not
that
a farter,
everybody,
but I'm a doodler.
Well, yeah, you are kind of a farter. You're a pooper.
Was there no one in the chat either?
No, we had a bunch of people watching, but we did not have anybody that commented. So hello out there.
No, you can all go down.
Just the way of the world.
Yeah. All right. On that note, thank you all for listening. We will see you next week. Excited to talk more. Great could be in the merge of it all now. Yeah. All right. My name is Colleen.
I'm Jamie.
Jack.
Peace out, everybody. Lots of waving going on for context. Bye.